Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the Rabbit. What are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a really good Saturday. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Amanda, you are so sweet. She says, "Look, can't wait. I love this channel." Shout out to you. I've thought about it from all angles. The only thing that makes sense is that they took homemade tainted Viagra before heading home. There's a lot of people with different theories. I've never heard of that one though, but shout out to you. Welcome everybody. Hey Sandy. Hey Christina. Shout out to all the members. Leah. Thank you. Emily. Drew. Thank you for being here. Let me just check out. I got to check my phone to see who's in the chat. The phone is a little bit faster. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Hey Cheeks, Chevy, Awesome Cow. Thank you. I see everybody. We decided to go live a little bit earlier, which I hope that that's okay. Welcome everybody. Okay. Excuse me. I'm still trying to clear my throat, you guys. These. Oh, all right. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please, and thank you. All right. I see everybody. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Let me know. Welcome, Dee Dee, Kimmy, Amber. Hey, Lady BB. Welcome. Well, shout out to you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Margot. How you doing, love? Everybody, Lisa's in the house. Thank you for being here, my beautiful members. Fabulous Fab, Jojo, Minnie, Pika, welcome. Thank you for being here, Charlotte, everybody, Lisa. Guys, I have to tell you guys something before we get started and hitting the ground. I have to tell you guys something. We are, shout out to us, we are 100 and about 158 members away from 1,000 members on our channel. Shout out to us. Thanks everybody who renews their membership, buys their membership, as well as buys membership for other people. Thank you for doing that. Shout out to you guys. We're going to get there hopefully soon. Shout out to you guys. Nicole, thank you for being here. Positive vibes. Welcome, love. Shout out. You love the R? Well, I'm not done. This gonna be a background, okay? It's gonna start looking like a 50K channel, all right? We gotta get it together. We gotta get it together, but none of that is cheap. So it's taking me some time. Hoping for answers. Thank you for being here, everybody. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. SW's in the house. You love the somebody said Viagra. Look, I don't know. I don't know. Crescencia, thank you for being here. Catherine, welcome to the membership. Thank you for being a member. Shout out to you guys. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, welcome. Yeah, your background took me out a couple months ago to get together. It takes a minute, you know what I'm saying? Tiki, thank you. Oh, look at Chico. Thank you, Chico, for buying a membership for someone. If you got a membership from Chico, please put a heart in the chat. Do the right things in the house. How are you doing, love? I hope you're doing well. Well, Lisa, I appreciate it. Listen, I got to get the sound right, but the background has to be right. I mean, so Hobby Lobby, side note, because I know I'm taking a while, and I promise y'all I'm gonna put some timestamps on it. Side note, Hobby Lobby was having a sale today. Love me some Hobby. So we got some stuff here. We got some stuff here that we're gonna be working with. Love me some Hobby Lobby. Go in there, you get your 50% off for wall decoration and 30% off and all kinds of stuff. Check them out. Thank you for being here. Nebulous, Courtney, Bridget. Hey, Christy B. How you doing? All right, let's get it together. Chico gifted again. Thank you, Chico. You are awesome. Chico gifted 3 times. You guys make sure if you got a gift from Chico, you put a heart in the chat and say thank you. Courtney, you ain't never lie. I love me some Hobby Lobby. Like I can get lost there for months, which is bad. Anyways, let's get it together. Okay. Um, where do we start? Where do we start? Okay. So yesterday we did a video about Alex. This fifth person has been identified in this whole, you know, saga of what has happened to these young men, right? 3 young men, unfortunately. But a lot of it is not making sense. And so, shout out to everybody that's been following this. Y'all been in the comments. We really need to understand what is going on. And I'm trying to figure out why this is not a like homicide investigation. I feel like personally, I feel like we're losing time here. I feel like we trying to make like the internet is more concerned than law enforcement. Bunny sees quick question. What do you think about carbon monoxide being present at the house? Well, here's the deal, Bunny C. Then why is what's his name, Jordan Willis alive? Like why are they alive if it's carbon monoxide? Like how does that happen? Three what seems to be very healthy men and nobody else? And none of it is making sense. No, exactly. Fabulous. I personally feel like we are losing time because they've classified this as not a homicide. You know what I'm saying? Like none of it is making sense. You said sleep apnea mask? Could be. I don't know, man. Look at you guys. I'm just wondering. They were all found outside. True. True. It is a strange story. It is a very strange story. Absolutely. I want to watch this interview with you guys. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Okay? Let me know.
Enough for the families who are understandably devastated. Joining me now exclusively is Jennifer Marquez. She is David
Mm.
Harrington's mom. Jennifer, thank you for doing this, and I am so sorry that we're meeting under these circumstances. What have the police told you, if anything?
They haven't told me anything. I spoke with the detective today, and he didn't release any information to me. I asked him a few questions, and I told him some things that I had heard from people that were David's friends.
This is so frustrating that like family isn't getting information from law enforcement. Why? Like, I don't know about you guys, but it almost feels like tunnel vision to a certain degree. Do they already have tunnel vision? Do they feel like, well, all of this is already figured out one way, so they don't really say a whole lot of information? And Chico, thank you for gifting again. If you guys got a membership from Chico, put a heart in the chat. Emily, thank you for gifting as well. If you got a membership from my girl Emily, put a heart in the chat. I want to know, yo, let me know. Like, why the, they're not getting information from law enforcement? Sometimes during an investigation, they're bound by law not to release information. Good point, Heidi. Good point. Good point. I completely, I give you that.
And he seemed interested in some things, but they did not give me any information. And it took me 3 calls to get anybody to call me back today. And that was the first time I'd spoken with anybody since about a week and a half now.
Mm.
What did they tell you about
So
Jordan Willis? Because they've spoken to him. They're not telling us what Jordan Willis has said, but did they say anything to you about what Jordan Willis said?
no, they have not said anything about what Jordan has said. The only things that I've heard are what his lawyer has said on the news. I have not heard a single thing from him or from the police about him.
Let me ask you guys a question, and I'm thinking about this as I'm hearing her speak. Um, Minnie says they had tunnel vision since day one. I would agree with you on that. And love shards of words. I hope you have a lovely dinner. Shout out to tell your friend we said happy birthday in the chat, okay? And everybody, shout out to them. Um, Here's a thought. Say that they have the autopsy, okay, on these three men, and it comes back that there's no foul play. They're not saying that there's foul play and that everything comes out clean. If you were in her situation, would you guys get another autopsy? Like, I'm just wondering, can we really trust that forensics or these professionals are going to get it right at this point, given that you have three what seems normal, healthy men going to, see this game at a friend's house and they're dead. No explanation. For me, I would have been like, give me another autopsy. Sums up. We've all waiting for that. All of us, right? All of us. I would think so too. But if I'm just thinking like, KB, girl, right? Like, I'm just wondering if this autopsy report says there is nothing wrong, it's all in your head. I get a second one. I would. I'm just saying.
The reports I get
So,
are strictly from news.
so the detective never said anything like Jordan's story adds up or anything like that?
Well, yet 2 weeks ago, right when I found out, there was a police officer that I spoke to. I think it was the day after I found out what happened. I had called to ask what I was supposed to be doing. And an officer that I spoke to in the morning, when I was talking to him, he said that they were allowed to go in the night that they were called to Jordan's house, and that they looked around, and that they took Jordan in and they talked to him, and that his story added up.
Mhm.
And he hesitated for a minute and said, I'm not really allowed to go into very much, but when it's all released, it's going to make sense.
Okay. If his story added up, then why the secrecy? Why not just go ahead and get into it? Why tell this family it's all going to make sense? That's the ish that really gets to me. Uh-huh, JB, right? Interesting, right? If it all makes sense, right? It all makes sense. Three seemingly healthy men die. It for whatever reason, it all makes sense, which I don't know how, but it does. Then what's with the secrecy? Why can't he get into anything at this point? That's that's what I heard too. That's what we gonna talk about that here in a minute. It's a brain. It is. I would say so. I would say so. Lord have mercy. It's a lot. But what are they waiting for? That's my question. What are we waiting for? It's been 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Correct me on the time, guys, in the chat, but it's been about 2.5 weeks. So I know, like, if they're doing a toxicology, they give you like a preliminary one, right? And then they go about doing the full one. Are they not able to do a preliminary tox at this point? Peggy Cole, thank you for the 9.99, says, if I feel like if found, 3 dogs frozen, it would be getting more attention. Lord have mercy. Peggy, you know there would be some arrests, right? Animal abuse, right? They got some animal abuse there. They would have been arrested. You leave 3 dogs frozen in the cold? Yeah, I would say so. Thank you, Peggy, for the 9.99. Emily, thank you. They do. They do a preliminary before they release the actual toxicology report. Mm. I don't know, Vincente dice, they were drug users that OD'd. The families just don't want to admit it due to the embarrassment. I don't know. Cheeks is like, listen, you don't got to look, bro. We get you. You don't got to yell. Shout out to the people. Yo, dogs don't do dope, right? That was my thought process too. Maybe they were frozen and then dumped. Exactly. So how is it all gonna like what would make sense that 3 seemingly healthy men die like this? And there's no foul play. No gunshots, no blunt force trauma that we know of. What would make and the person, the renter or homeowner, renter is okay. Upstairs sleeping for 2 days with a fan on? I don't get it. I don't get this whole thing.
And I thought, how could that make sense? It's only, in my perspective, it was only 2 days after I found out, or a day after I found
Mm,
out. So only a couple
It makes
days
me
after they
wonder,
saw my son.
they seem to think that something might make sense, which makes me wonder they maybe spotted something when they were in the home that night.
Yeah,
Did the detective who talked
I think so too. That's my thought. I think that you have, and where's my tinfoil hat? I'm gonna have to get one because every once in a while, and not like I said, I embrace my conspiracy theory side, but because I have to sometimes, right? But in my mind, you have a scientist, a PhD level scientist, okay, who works with HIV and works in creating vaccines and whatnot, whatnot. Okay, he slept for 2 days with the fan on. Give me my hat, girl. Give me my hat, Emily. Give me my conspiracy theories hat. It would not surprise me. This PhD person could I mean, we don't know what his connections are to the local government there. Okay. People talk. I worked in government, yo. I understand how some of these things work a little bit. Just a little bit. I wouldn't put it past it. Nola Lola says, I bet they're saying there's no foul play until the talk screen comes back because he would be a flight risk. Okay, so Nola Lola, what would happen? What if they do suddenly make an arrest? Or maybe they're investigating an actual murder. And then suddenly it's going to be like breaking news, and you're going to see a bunch of us go live and be like, yo, they really was foul play. They were looking at this ad. Well, that just tells you we can't really trust law enforcement when they put shit out there. But I'm just thinking in my mind, what if that happened? I don't know. SW said they took some of that, made them hot outside and got cold, and it was 30 degrees, which is cold enough to cause an altered mental status. If wrong, 10 members. All right. Shout out to SW. I got you, SW. Thank you for the 4.99 SW. Teamaker says, can't keep a secret in the government. Some would be quick to run to the reporters. You already know it, man. And personally, I don't think that there should be any secrets, but I understand, there is. Chico says, I definitely think designer drugs and the 3 deed. He panicked and probably sat them outside. I hate to say it, but it happened here. Okay. So special designer drugs, they took them. Okay. Maybe first time experimenting them. I don't know. And he also took them. Jordan did, except his side effects were sleeping for 2 days with a fucking fan on. So, and noise canceling headphones too. Don't forget that.
to you tell you
Hmm.
anything about what he saw inside the home? Like what was on the coffee table? Was there any drug paraphernalia? Anything that made him jump to that whole idea
Hmm.
that it will make sense?
No, no, he didn't say anything, and it didn't sit well with me what he said. So I called back and talked to, at that time, the main detective that I had been told to talk to. And she somewhat corrected what he said. She said that they were still investigating everything, nothing was determined, that she couldn't tell me anything, but that they hadn't stopped with the investigation. And that's pretty much what the detective told me today, is that they were still looking. And with some of the things that I told him that I'd heard, he seemed a little interested that there were things that he had not heard. And
What
I feel
things?
like
What sort of
he gave,
things?
Ashley's like, what things? Tell me, girl. Tell me, girl. I don't know. I don't know. And some of you guys, somebody had put in my comments, what about GHB? Potentially. I mean, is the house tenant under investigation, or is it for rent? Girl, I don't know. That's a good question. Because he moved out of there quick. I mean, he moved out of there quick. That's crazy. I said, wow, that's if it wasn't going to be investigated as anything. I mean, they didn't seal the house. They didn't go in there with their forensics. They literally, it's like they knew they went in and out, which makes me think, like, here's my conspiracy hat. Maybe they're covering up for him. Who knows? That's what people have said, GHB. Put it in my chat. A lot of people have said that. No, absolutely not. First of all, I mean, if they were in my house, I would have made sure they left the house, right? Like, not go to the backyard, not like, and then their cars were parked out there too. Okay? Not in the driveway, but they were parked there. I wouldn't like it. None of this makes sense. None of it. Mm-mm. Oh,
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say.
she can't say,
Did it
Ashley.
have to do with
Yeah, I'm not
anyone
sure.
else in this? Did it have to do with anybody else in this story? Meaning, there were 5 men who were together that night. One left at midnight, he says. The other was the homeowner, and the 3 victims included your son. Did the detective suggest there might be anybody else involved in at play?
No, it was basically all about Jordan, the conversation. And the person that left early, I've spoken with him and we had a discussion, and I know that he's telling the truth, that he left early, and that when he left, my son was alive. And he is torn up. He's devastated. He lost.
So clearly the family is talking to Alex, right? Alex is the 5th person, okay? The one who said that he had left and they were watching Jeopardy, okay? So Alex is willing to talk to the families, but Jordan hasn't. I mean, Alex got an attorney, right? He got an attorney and he's talking to the families. And Alex is the one that was identified by the media, okay? Alex Weberly. So, mom of one of the victims here is saying, no, like he's torn up by this whole situation. I'm guessing that he's also cooperating with law enforcement as well. I'm just wondering, you guys, like, and so people are also dragging the 5th person. They all went to high school together. It's a lot. It's a lot.
3 of his friends that night. And he wishes that he had stayed or could have done something. But
Mm.
when he left, everything was fine. And so that person has nothing to do with what happened. It's between Jordan and my son and the 2 others, Clayton and Ricky.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
So that is what she's saying. She's saying, he's been very cooperative. He's torn by the loss of the friends and everything, which is, it's a very odd thing. That's odd. She just said that person has nothing to do with what happened, right, Kim? You caught that too? Look at Kim. Look at Kim. We see each other. How could she be sure of that? How can she be sure that the 5th person had nothing to do with what happened? Because he said he didn't do it? I mean, Jordan is saying the same thing, right? It's a very weird statement to make. I mean, but then again, I'm also like feeling for her because she's, you know, clearly concerned. Yeah, you see me, Kim. Shout out to Kim. We see each other. Don says, thanks for the amazing coverage. Love your channel so much. Hi from Law Nerds. Oh, PCs. Well, thank you, Don, for the $4.99. Shout out to all the Law Nerds. That whole sector is amazing. Shout out to them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're so sweet. But she's just grateful that someone is talking to her? Huh. There's no way to be sure. My big issue or question is, why did the guy who lived there already move? Well, I could see this in 2 ways. That's a good question right here, Ashley. I don't want to stay in a house where my friends died, number 1. So yeah, I would probably want to move right away. Like, let me break that lease right now. Also, I would still be cooperating with law enforcement and it doesn't sound like Jordan is like he's cooperative, right? He has an attorney. The attorney has kind of effed up the social media piece, in my opinion, and the opinion of various other creators that I've heard echo the same that this attorney is shit. Jordan Willis's attorney. Okay. But honestly, like, think about it. Would you want to be, if you are that person, I wouldn't want to be staying that this is the house that my friends died. I mean, I'll cooperate with law enforcement, but I ain't staying at this house. I should break my lease. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be able to sleep very well, right? And then knowing that I'm somehow potentially at fault, I don't know. Does he know why? He probably left because he didn't want, media following. Now, Ashley, this is a great question. What is the fifth guy's alibi? Was he evicted? I didn't hear he was evicted. Ooh, because that involves court. I thought he just left. Mm. But what was the fifth guy's alibi? That is the question. I want to go back to something she said because Kim and I, we saw each other on this. Look at this.
And the 3 victims included your son. Did the detective suggest there might be anybody else involved in at play?
Some she said
No,
here.
it was basically all about Jordan, the conversation. And the person that left early, I've spoken with him and
Listen,
we had a discussion, and I know that he's telling the truth, that he left early, and that when he left, my son was alive.
I know that he's telling the truth, that he left early, and that my son was alive. I want to know what Alex's alibi was. That's what I want to know. Kate, that's a great question. That I'd like to know. Why all about Jordan? Right. Why is this all about Jordan? So was Jordan doing sporadically here and there after what? So what was he doing? There is no confirmation that he was evicted. Thank you. Maybe he was potentially. Rumors is that he's in rehab. Not sure how true it is. Also heard he's in Colorado. Minnie, who did you hear was in Colorado? Jordan or Alex? Yeah, and evictions take some time. That's for sure. In my opinion, not everything is a conspiracy. People do freeze to death, especially with drugs and alcohol in their system. It's true. That is true. You know? Yeah. I just don't feel like we have a clear answer of it.
And he is torn up. He's devastated. He lost 3 of his friends that night. And he wishes that he had stayed or could have done something. But when he left, everything was fine. And so that person has nothing to do with what happened. It's between Jordan and my son and the 2 others, Clayton and Ricky.
Thank you for watching.
I don't know how I feel about that statement, but I know that she's making it from a place of trying to, bring some understanding to this case, which I don't know. Shout out to Nonsense. Nonsense says the story is so twisted and confusing, in my opinion. Cape says, Rabbit, it's deflection onto the fifth guy. The fifth guy left early and said they were watching Jeopardy and left. Ay, 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 Dios mío. It's a lot. Jordan, I have heard, hold up, what did you say? In a few places. I mean, we don't know anything as far as as much as we know is all we know at this point. Why are they giving statements if also withholding information? Well, there's not a lot that the family is being told as well. So keep that in mind too, right? Like, I don't know. Let me see. Ooh, these comments. I think Jordan moved out. I think Jordan's move was already planned before this. That was a very quick move. I'll say that. Now, does that mean that he's guilty? No. Just means that it's a quick move. Listen, I have not been in any. Think about it. Would you guys have, if three of your friends died, okay, you're in the backyard, and you happen to be the one that survived, would you stay in that property? I would want to leave fairly quickly. I don't think I could stay there, but that's just me. So keep that in mind. You, he does have an attorney, or maybe somebody in the family said, I have a feeling he was advised to leave. Maybe he was advised to leave. Or no. Okay, I want to listen to Jennifer Coffindaffer, who was on Chris Cuomo on this situation. Let's watch this.
All right, let me just quickly bring in former FBI agent, News Nation Law and Justice superhero, Jennifer Coffindaffer. 8 weeks. Why for this autopsy? Why?
Well, it is being sent out of state, Chris, which is adding a little bit of time frame, but we're talking about the toxicology here. That autopsy, I can assure you, authorities know, at least preliminarily, that cause of death. And I would even say the lead detective was probably in there with the ME as it was being performed. I know I was in there on my investigations when they were being performed.
But what is it? Wait, hold on, Jen. What does that mean in terms of, I get it, if there's blunt force trauma, if there's a hole in the head, if there's stab wounds, ligature marks, but I'm saying, do you know right away if it involved somebody having a substance or whatever the other opportunity is?
Okay, here's the question that I have for everybody in the chat. Do you know, in your opinion, do you know, or do you feel like you know what law enforcement is aware of how these men passed away? Like, clearly they have more information than we do, right? But just like that question that Chris Cuomo is asking Jennifer Coffindaffer of, like, often they might already be aware of the cause of death, hence why they're not saying this is foul play. In your opinion, in the chat, let me know. Do you feel like law enforcement knows what killed these men? What do you guys think?
You're going to know to a degree because they're going to perform some toxicology preliminarily. The full screen is going to be sent off. And the other thing they're going to be able to tell are determinations about hypothermia. You know, did they really die of hypothermia, or were they deceased and then freezing was a contributing factor?
Except the cops said that they didn't see proof of dragging them out there. Right, which would be the scenario. And also, if the guy's Jordan Willis's lawyer is to be believed, they're not looking at him. Now that can always change, but that they've said no foul play. What's your take on that?
Well, my take is they mean foul play, meaning not strangled, not shot, etc., not stabbed. But I think they probably went outside and possibly smoked something. That something was possibly laced with what actually killed them.
There you go. That to me sounds more of a plausible theory, right? And that they basically, Jordan made it back inside the house, and then all of them froze to death outside. It's now, is that murder? No. Is that accidental? Potentially. But could that have been something? It could have been that they lace something with Fetty or something like that. We don't know. Storm says, listen, how do three people die at the same time, the same way, on the same day, in the same place? Right. Negligence? Potentially. On behalf of who, though? What if Jordan was smoking the same substance, only he knocked out? Listen, this is the vital piece of information. He knocked out for 2 days. 2 days. Did he pee on himself? Did he defecate on himself? Did he not go to the bathroom? He just laid on the couch with noise canceling headphones? 2 days. So could they have all smoked some shit? The three men die outside? Fentanyl. And then the stuff that they smoked was so potent that it knocked Jordan out, and he's laying on the couch for 2 days? Now, that doesn't mean that they are drug addicts. It just means that maybe they tried, all three of them tried a substance. And oh yeah, and thank you, Pika, and a loud fan. I'm just thinking because I do kind of agree with Miss Coffindaffer over here on this one.
Whether it was knowingly or not, then they died, and hypothermia is going to be a contributing factor.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com.
That's potential. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's potential. It's there's a potential for a lot of different things. And you know, Coffindaffer's on Twitter too, for those that, I don't know if you guys follow her there, but she says, to be clear, and this was, she posted a couple hours ago. She says, to be clear, if your good friends die in your backyard after a party you hosted, do you A, call a lawyer, B, reach out to their family and express concerns, C, say you were asleep and had headphones on for 2 days and never left the house, D, immediately vacate the house. And then she puts in there, the home renter opted for A, C, and D. Wouldn't most of us just go for B if we had nothing to hide? Yeah, I would go to B. That's what I would do. That we're about to go there. I'm gonna actually show you guys. Shout out to Mel's video because he did a really quick breakdown on the charges based on what was found. But listen, what do? You y'all are saying B? Exactly. It's all very shady. All of it, right? Because at the very least, the fifth man has had communication with the family. Now, does that mean that he's innocent? No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know. And if one of my mods can share Ikamel's link in the chat, you guys go sub up to Ikamel. He did a little breakdown of the fifth person criminal history. Let's
She
chat.
had some interesting things to say. I'm going to talk about
Let's
that
chat.
further later. But first, let's get into the fifth person that's been named now, Alex Weimer Lee, the mystery of fifth person, and the background a little bit in the history. This article is from the Daily Mail, and it says the fifth mysterious person in the baffling case of 3 Kansas City men found frozen, dead outside of a rental home after a football game can be exclusively revealed by Daily Mail, a longtime friend, Alex Weimer. And I've actually seen that name pop up before. He is a high school pal of the victims whose bodies were discovered 2 days after the celebratory gathering on January 7th. But he says he left at midnight after the football game finished and everyone was alive. We know all of the.
Now, I want to show you guys something while we're reviewing this. I happened to go to Mel's video. Shout out to Mel. Okay. Hit the like button. Go subscribe over there. And somebody left a very interesting comment on Mel's video. Peep this. I have to point it out. This is a person that says, I can promise you that Alex Lee is grieving as hard as the family's loved ones. When I moved to Kansas City when I was 14, I can't remember a time they weren't together. They were like brothers of the closest friends. Everyone has a past. Just look at Jordan on paper, then look at the person you know he really is. A vindictive wolf in sheep's clothing. I think she meant to say clothing, but it says clothing. But only there was something about his eyes that made you weary of this animal. And of course, Mel, shout out, and I really do hope that Mel gets to talk to this person, and that she reaches out. This person right here left a very interesting comment. Yo, I said, huh? Huh? Clutching my invisible pearls. This woman knows these men. Yes, I was with my big eyes, my big eyeballs, like, what? I truly hope she reaches out. I really do. Because she knows something. I'm just saying, the comment is there. Go read it. Mel responded in there. Okay? Go read it. Go.
Details. And so Weimer, who shortens his name to Lee, is the fan on the far left of the photo previously published by Daily Mail showing the 3 men smiling broadly in their Kansas City Chiefs jersey. So This guy here, all the way to the left, is the fifth person right here. And I guess this is another picture. This is him right here.
Oh,
Full
man.
head of hair. I can't really see his hair too much here. And it says here, Weimer Lee, who shortens his name to Lee, is the fan on the far left. So this is him right here. Okay. So the watch party host, Jordan, claimed he had no knowledge of what happened to the trio, whose bodies were found on his rear porch and backyard on the night of January 9th, 48 hours after they saw their team narrowly beat the Los Angeles Chargers. Here's another picture of the guys. You can see,
So it's
I guess
all
this
there.
is Lee here by his beard. He says he waved them off at 2 a.m. before sleeping on the couch. This is Jordan's story. And spending the next 2 days inside his house, not thinking anything of the fact their cars were still outside.
I just want to know what she meant by wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, what is she? I mean, I know what the meaning is, but she said a lot. And the Daily Mail has a bunch of pictures of their social media, which is what Mel is reading the article there. It's all there. It's all there. Okay. They were pretty close. Clearly, they were very close. Look at that. All there. I just, So, who is this man, and what is it that what other secrets were there that we didn't even know? Kind of curious to know what all of this is about. And let me go straight
2 charges of unlawful use of drug paraphernalia
charges.
and 1 possessing up to 35 grams of marijuana. Lee was given 20 hours of community service for one of the drug paraphernalia charges, but failed to complete it. He was then sentenced to 7 days in jail, records show. 7 years later, while living in Aspen, Colorado, he was charged with a felony for tampering with drug evidence after another man was arrested at a nightclub. Lee was accused of
And let me be very clear. I hate when people like I'm not judging at all for anybody's past. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a past, okay? I'm not saying that this means that he's guilty. Um, nothing. It was pulled up by social media and we're reviewing it. And this is why I think the comment that the person left on the video is very important, who says, listen, Alex is grieving the loss of his friend. I agree. I hate when people try to make people feel some type of way because they have a background or a criminal record. No, F that. I don't like that at all whatsoever.
grabbing 2 baggies of ecstasy that were dropped on the venue's floor when the accused dealer was seized by police. He told officers he swallowed the contents of one bag and tried to hide the other, according to a report. I highly doubt this dude swallowed a bag of ecstasy and could live to tell the story. So let's sidestep here and check out this article from 2012, but it was updated in 2017.
Look at
And
that.
this is about the incident. It says local men guilty in belly up tampering case. Now, this is something interesting to kind of look into because we've been talking about potentially this thing could be substances involved. So this is incidents that took place a long time ago, but sometimes, you look into history. 2 men who were charged with felonies for tampering with drugs at the belly up following another man's arrest on Monday pleaded guilty to misdemeanor counts as part of a plea agreement. Lee, 25 years old, pleaded guilty to obstructing a peace officer and unlawful use of a controlled substance, while Joseph Barman, 24, pleaded guilty to the obstruction count in Pitkin County District Court. The felony charges of tampering with evidence were dropped. The Snowmass Village residents were arrested in February and accused of tampering with evidence after the arrest of Max Plunder, 18 years old, of Aspen.
And this is all in Aspen?
Puder, who faces felony charges of drug distribution and possession, allegedly dropped 2 baggies of ecstasy on the venue's floor during his February 4th arrest. Barman, who was working at the Belly Up as a doorman, witnessed Puder's arrest and told Lee about it, a police report says. Barman also allowed Lee access to the spot where the arrest had taken place. Lee told police that he had ingested the contents of one bag and he tried to hide the other when an Aspen police officer returned to the scene. I mean, unless the bag maybe just had a few pills in there or 2 pills or something, but if it was like...
says, and Texas veteran says, do we know that Jordan isn't grieving? I don't know. I wouldn't want to accuse people of no evidence. That's very true. I don't know what Jordan is or isn't doing. I was reading the comment that the person left on Mel's video, which I thought was very interesting and very telling. But it sounds like the person knows them. Let me see what you guys are saying. What we know, they didn't. What we know, they didn't eat a bag of ecstasy anyhow. Stick to facts. Jordan has no record. Fifth person has felony convictions. Fifth man was the plug. Wow. That's not a fact. That's an opinion. You're saying that the fifth man was the plug. Has he been charged? Stick to facts. Okay, I can give you that Alex has a record. I'll give you that. And that Jordan has no record. But the fact that all of this does not necessarily mean that the fifth man was the plug. That's not a fact. That's an opinion. And I'm just letting you know how I see it. You can disagree with me. I'm just saying that's an opinion, right? Just like it's an opinion that the person put in there, it said, hey, Jordan is not a good guy. That's an opinion, right? We don't know. I don't know any of these men. You guys know these men? Because I don't, right? We don't. So all we can go by is what they've put out there. I don't know.
Like a bag of pills. The other baggie was recovered after the officer ordered Lee to move. Barman told Lee that there was money and drugs laying all over the place. Barman's attorney, Chip McCroy of Carbondale, said in Monday's hearing. McCroy told Judge Gail Nicholas of Pitkin County District Court that Barman didn't know whether Lee had actually picked up the drug, but that he knew it was a possibility. Barman was fired after his arrest.
Kat in the chat says, listen, I don't have a record and I'm the plug. Lord. Thank you, Heidi. Definitely an opinion. Yo, all right, guys. All right, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I don't even know what a plug is. Oh, come on, guys.
Lee and Barman were arrested on February 18th after police reviewed video surveillance showing the men's actions. I honestly believe you won't have to see me again, Barman told Nicholas, adding that he has a new job as a mechanic in Snowmass. I'm trying to get my life going in the right direction. Nichols praised both men for cooperating with police and the district attorney's office. She sentenced Barman to 1 year of unsupervised probation. Lee received 2 years of unsupervised probation. I think you're learning a lesson in a very hard way, Nichols told Lee. Some of the other new details that's been revealed is who's the name of the person, who's the person that found the body on the property. Because, you know, this guy, Jordan, with the knocks and the banging and the phone calls and text messages that he said didn't happen, you know, didn't wake up. And this woman had broken into the house. The identity of the heartbroken fiance who raised the alarm at the Willis house after her construction worker partner, Clayton McKinney, failed to come home. April Mahoney, 34 years old. She breaks into the property the Tuesday night after Willis had not responded to calls and visits from anxious victim family members, which he claims didn't happen. She was confronted with the horror of finding a man now known to be David Harrington
on
the outside porch. So she
guys,
found David Harrington, which the clips from the girlfriend that we see in the beginning and the ones we're going to watch now in a bit, that's his girlfriend. She's talking about David. The woman in the other video. So
that is just so freaking upsetting. Oh, wait. So this, I thought this was a relative. This is his girlfriend. Can you guys? I didn't think that was his girl. I could have been wrong on that one. Yeah, so many questions. The pick of the window in the back. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Hey, Universal Tea with Marie. Shout out to you, love. It's all very suspect. Right. Did you guys figure out the definition of a plug? I just want to make sure because I was going to answer that question. Questions need answers. This is why we're all discussing that. Absolutely, Diane. Thank you for being here. Texas veteran says, I'm not up on the lingo. No worries. That's his wife. Okay. So was she the one that found them? See, I didn't even know that. I thought that was just like a relative. I didn't know that was the wife. We played this video. This was, thank you, love. This was the lady that found them, the fiance, right? No, it was the fiance of the other. Okay, but so she didn't find them. No, we don't know that. We don't think that that's just a rumor. People are saying different things. She's not a wife. She's a fiance. She has kids with them, 19 years together, I think. Gotcha. Thank you, thank you. Yes, and for those that are looking for a more formal definition, a plug is the hookup for a party favor. Anybody can be a plug for the most part.
All these links, and it's not, those are not true, and it's rude, it's hurtful. It's not who David was. David didn't do stuff like that. He got caught in the wrong, he got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't understand how he could have, or I mean, it doesn't make sense. 3 men dead. David wasn't a drug addict like they're talking about. He was a good guy, very good guy. He went.
Okay, he was not a drug addict. Okay, but it doesn't mean like. Let me stop right here. Going back to that theory that we threw out there, we said, is it possible that they smoked something or used something that was laced? They all got high, and the 3 men were left outside in the cold while Jordan slept with a loud fan and noise canceling headphones. Is it possible that that's what happened? Just because you use drugs one time does not mean that you're a drug addict, right? It could be just a one-time thing. Yes, that's right, mommers. You never know what you're going to learn in my chat. Someone's going to give you the definition of something. If you learn what a plug is today, congratulations. Some of you guys are wild thinking, hold up, Betty is involved, LOL. So sure, it's when you don't even know. We don't know. And it could be anything. Yeah, there's a gazillion kinds of drugs, right? You're also talking about somebody who's a research scientist who survived, okay? Who slept 2 days. I don't know how a person, well, I mean, I guess you don't have to pee for 2 days, right? I'm assuming that you're watching a game, you're drinking alcohol. Okay, that's going to make you want to pee. You're eating. That's going to make you want to go to the bathroom. He slept for 2 days while his friends froze to death. 3 of his friends. So I'm more inclined to believe that there was some specially household made, not even household, but like a special drug that he made that could have gotten everybody high. Exactly. So if they had all passed out, if they had all passed out in the living room, they would have all been asleep for how many days? I know. Just imagine being the girlfriend. You're knocking, nobody's answering the door, the family, the cars are there, and then you find, or the fiance, and then you find a dead man in the porch, and then the other 2 over there. His friends are out in the yard, frozen to death. Here he is inside thank you, Ashley, in the bed, cozy, warm for 2 days. I mean, and clearly he was warm enough that he had a fan. Alibi says the PhD was the only one smart enough to get out of. Alibi, say that again. The PhD was the only one smart enough to get out inside, to pass out inside. Thank you. So the PhD passed out inside while his 3 friends died, frozen. It's crazy. That's what we don't know. We don't know, right? We don't know. What we do know is that the story has changed several times, right? That's right. That's right. Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder.
To church with us. He coached my son's baseball team.
So that's Lori Krause, and that is David Harrington's person that he's been with for 17 years. I believe they have kids together. I saw Cuomo state that. And the one thing I wanted to address, that was really the thing that stuck out to me during that interview, besides she was upset and she's having, obviously a hard time, but also says her phone is like blowing up and people are contacting her, texting her. It's just this nonstop. And she's upset that some people, maybe he's being perceived in a light that she doesn't like or agree with.
And I don't blame her whatsoever. I think that's why we have to be mindful. But again, this was I'm going to go back to this comment. This was a very interesting comment that somebody left in Mel's video. Listen to what this person had to say, and I truly hope if they're watching any of our commentary that they reach out to Mel so they can talk. This person says, her name is Kendra. She says, I can promise you that Alex Lee, the fifth person, is grieving as hard as the family's loved ones. When I moved to Kansas City when I was 14, I can't remember a time they weren't together. They were like brothers of the closest friends. Everyone has a past. Just look at Jordan on paper, then look at the person, you know who he really is. And I'm paraphrasing because there's some typos. A vindictive wolf in sheep's clothing, but only there was something about his eyes that made you weary of the animal. That I read that, like I said, it sent chills, 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 because that is a mouthful to say about somebody. And this is somebody that I'm assuming she knows that group, right? I truly hope that she speaks to somebody. It is a very haunting comment. It is. I would give you that. It's a very haunting comment. I want to know what you guys think in the comments about this whole situation. I mean, do you guys? No, he is not a scientist. Stop it. I don't know. He could be. He could be. We don't know. You think his behavior is screaming louder? Yeah, it could be, right? Let me do a little poll because I kind of want to understand where everybody here. Hold up. Let's do a little poll. Do you guys feel like, in your opinion, that there's something more to Alex than what is being like put out there? Do you guys feel like Alex is somebody that we definitely need to look at? He's the plug. I mean, let me know your thoughts. In your opinion, and I'm going to put a third part in there for those that feel like I can't give you a straight answer. Do you feel that Alex is responsible or knows more? I'm going to add a don't know, okay? So you guys don't kill me in the comments. Go vote. Now, while you vote, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for being here. And just, let me know. Howdy says, I heard this was over a bet. Who told you that? That's crazy. That is crazy. Rem says, sorry, if I found my friends dead in the backyard, I would really was passed out for 2 days. And if I was passed out for 2 days, one of the things I would do is get a lawyer. Would you get the same lawyer, Rem? I don't think you'd get the same lawyer. Red Door Woman says, the problem is on social media, people are guilty before proven innocent. Very true. No one knows the information that the police have. Absolutely. Like, I'm telling you, look, let's just say they actually make an arrest and they gave us this information just to give it to us, just to like throw us off. That would be crazy, but it wouldn't surprise me. Law enforcement has moved so weird in various cases. You just never know. You never know. Right, pet. Nothing makes sense out of this whole situation. It just doesn't. I want to know why, if the fiance broke into the house, she didn't encounter Jordan. I don't think she broke into the house. I think she broke through the back. Like, not physically in the house, but through the back. At least that's how I remember that. If if a cop starts questioning you, stop and get an addy, an attorney. Always, every time. That's right. You can still cooperate with an attorney. Just say, listen, I want to talk to my attorney. Any pullovers? Just make sure. Okay, it was through the basement. I thought it was just through the back. So she broke in through the basement? That's weird. Ooh, sorry y'all. I was shaking this. Thank you. Through the basement window, stopped when she found a man on the back porch. Okay, gotcha. Whoa. See, and I thought she just broke through, like she went through the fence. Basement window. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for letting me know. Gotcha. No, somebody says here, Minnie says, no, she broke through the basement. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was through the back. Wow. I learned something new today. Shout out to everybody. All right, let me look at this poll. Where are we at? All right. The question was, in your opinion, do you feel Alex is responsible or knows more? 45% said yes. 25% said no, and 30% said, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, everybody seems to be kind of like half and half and half with this poll. Wow, it sounds like she knows these guys, and especially Jordan. Now, for her to just break in like that. Yeah, but they reported the doors being locked. Why would she have to break in? I don't know. Let me check it out. Hold up. Let me see if I can get more clarification. Beyonce broke into house. Yeah. Okay, here it is. So this is from The Guardian. So just to correct that detail, because I don't want to misinform anybody, but The Guardian reported that the fiance, McGreeney's fiance, had broken into Willis's basement and found the corpse of one of his friends on his back porch. Police told reporters, as the Kansas City Star reported. She called police out to Willis's home, and they discovered the bodies of the two friends. That's what we know, and the source is The Guardian. Okay, there it is. Be aware. I heard about the AI articles, and yet we don't even. And then when she broke in, that's when he woke up after his, I don't know, 2-day slumber. That's what I heard too. They may not be saying anything to protect her as well. It could be. Do a poll? Okay, let's go ahead and do a little CN Red Flag said, listen, do a poll on Jordan. All right, let's do that. Let's do a little poll on Jordan. What do you want me to ask on Jordan? Jordan murmur his friends? All right, I'm going to add, and I put murmur, not murdered. I put murmur. Don't know. Go vote. Go vote. Yes. The poll is up. Go vote. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please, and thank you. Let's see how quick we can get to 100 votes. Oh, Lord, we got two. All right. Y'all are really voting. You said Jordan guilty, mad scientist. Hashtag poll trolls unite. Oh, wow. Wow, this poll is so interesting. I would agree with you on that, Miyu. Authorities might know so much more than we think. We know mostly everyone has a ring cam. That's true. I am being bossy today. I sure am. I'm just excited that I got the Hobby Lobby sale today. Shout out to the Hobby Lobby sale. Murder requires intent, and I do not believe he intended to kill his buddies. That's a hard one, yo. Shout out to the poll trolls. Thank you, Kim. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get to 250 votes. 250 votes, and then we go read these numbers. Okay? Yeah, I've heard that from the start. No, yes, that's right, Miss Clipper Chick. It won't let you keep adding likes. Ooh, hold up. As a former coroner, they are waiting for blood work and are working on an active investigation. Wow. Do you know what? That's the thing right here. This comment right here. Yes, we can't discount the possibilities that the lack of info coming in from law enforcement may reflect a larger situation than meets the eyes. This is a good comment. I would agree with you on that, and I love how you said that. Okay, let me go ahead. We got 5 more votes, 7 more votes. Wait, how many votes do we have till 250? Hurry up and vote and hit the like button, please. That's Bossy Rabbit right there. It's a huge thing. Okay. It's weird, this poll. All right, here we go. Jordan murmur his friends. Okay. 28% said yes. 18% said no. And 53% said, I don't know. Now, like Cape said, intent. Was it intentional? I don't know. These votes are hot. Okay, so a lot of y'all still don't know if it is what it is, right? Like, y'all are still kind of like, we don't know. Summer says, I'm not trying to assume anything. Evil Queen says, it could have been an accident. Could have been. Involuntary manslaughter? You don't know if it was an accident and she just panicked? Okay, they were friends for years. They didn't. You don't think it was intentional? Lord, Kelly Mac's like, listen, this could have been a long life thing. You know, maybe they had some rivalry. Accident and a cover up. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. We will see what happens next, right? Like, honestly, we will see. Hopefully, law enforcement will come back this time. I think I'm going to need a press conference. We need to figure this out. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. If you guys can do me a favor, y'all like my R? All right, hit the like button, please, and thank you. Make sure you guys are sharing this video with your fam, friends, social media. Do what you got to do, all that great stuff. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I want to say shout out to all the members and mods and everybody that gifted. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Listen, we will be back. Who knows? They might come back with an arrest. You never know. You never know, right? You guys stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out.